guys, Asher coming at you today in Raid Champion Guides. Welcome to the video, guys. Today, I'm excited because we're going to talk about one of my favorite rares in the game. Now, you guys voted on the next rare, and I really kicked things off with the allowing you guys to choose the next champion. I kicked it off with a bang. AKA, I accidentally fed the champion that you voted for. So Shadowbow Tirlac, as soon as I pull him again, I will do a guide on him next, I promise you guys. I apologize. I was recording a shard opening video a couple days ago, and I fed him to make room. Oh, we need more champion space. But the good news is I have another rare who, again, I'm a massive fan of. The cool thing is everybody can get their hands on this champion in Stage 11, Hallowed Halls of Campaign. It's none other than OG Executioner. And again, I am a massive fan. Let's talk about his kit. Shield Bash, his A1 ability attack one enemy. We get a 30% chance for a stun debuff for one turn. That's a really good chance on an A1 for a rare champion. On the A2, and notice his damage scales on attack, which is a little bit awkward because it also scales on defense, and I look at him as a defense-based champion. Heck, he is a defense-based champion. That's a little bit weird. Anyway, Tumult, his A2 ability, on a 3-turn cooldown when booked, attacks all enemies, decrease the turn meter by 20%, and then has a 75% chance when booked of placing a decreased speed for 2 turns. It's the weak version of decreased speed, but it is on a 3-turn cooldown and deals a significant amount of damage. It's a weird scalability, but it's still not bad. And then the decreased turn meter by 20% makes him a beast when it comes to control. Now, on the A3 ability, on a 5-turn cooldown, we have increased defense, big version when ascended, and a counterattack on this champion for 3 turns. So 3 out of every 5 turns will have that, again, because of the 5-turn cooldown. That will lead into more survivability on this champion and more stuns off of that A1. So again, more control. He also has defense in all battles by 17%. This is a very good aura to go ahead and take advantage of in the early and the mid game of Raid Shadow Legends. Another reason why I love him, actually even the late game of Raid Shadow Legends, because oftentimes on the rare only secret rooms in Doom Tower, you're not going to have many all battle auras. Certainly not a lot of Doom Tower auras on rare champions. So really nice to take advantage of that. I run him as an aura lead on a decent amount of teams. Let me go ahead and show you the build that I use on Executioner. I'm going to give you guys another build as well because it really depends on what you want to get out of this champion. But for me, it's mainly control, number 1, and damage, number 2. Where is he? Man, I have such problem finding champions lately. If they're ascended, if they're not ascended, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, guys, we talked about his skills. You can see on Blessings, I actually have Phantom Touch. You get some HP, you get some attack, you get some crit damage because of the 4-star awakening bonus, not to mention, obviously, that extra damage. It does scale awkwardly off of his attack, but we have a, I wouldn't want to say respectable, but we have a little bit of attack on this champion, and it does count as an extra hit as well. So we went Phantom Touch in terms of Blessings here. In terms of Masteries, let me make sure. I haven't redone these Masteries in quite a while. Let me make sure that I still stand by these Masteries. Now, one option I just want to say out of the gate is going Defense Tree instead of Support, and then going with Retribution. Offense Tree I really like. If you're just using him against waves, I think going with Helm Smasher might even be a little bit more advisable than going with War Master, but if you want a little bit extra damage against bosses primarily, I would go with War Master. I have no problems with this build, but again, it really comes down to your own personal preference. I could really see 3 options for a Tier 6 Mastery for this champion. War Master for PvE, Helm Smasher for, well, this is pretty much a PvE champion, but Helm Smasher again against, Doom Tower waves and stuff like that. If you're using him only in secret rooms in Doom Tower, I would go with, probably Helm Smasher instead. Again, he's not really an arena champion, Executioner. On the support tree, though, it's really nice because, again, we can improve that chance of landing that decreased speed off that A2 ability and increasing the duration vis-a-vis Master Hexer. Now, obviously, that's not going to be increasing the duration of the stun, but we do have him in a stun set. So I did want to mention on Fearsome Presence, it's going to bump that chance of placing the stun on the A1 from a 30 to a 35%. And it's going to bump the chance if you have him in a stun set like we do in today's video, it's going to bump that from an 18 to a 23% chance of landing off that 3-turn cooldown AoE attack, not to mention the counterattacks and the A1 ability. So Fearsome Presence would be the third tier 6 mastery option if you just want to go all out stun and sacrifice a little bit on the damage. We also have Lore of Steel on this champion, although we can't take advantage of it at all because I did switch up his build a little bit a few times. So I guess I want to point out here, Lore of Steel is not going to work with what we have right now. If we replace this Lifesteal shield in Lifesteal, I have a broken set obviously, in Lifesteal gauntlets, and put a speed on there, put maybe a perception set, which I think would be better served on this particular build. We'll talk about why in just a moment. Then we would get a little bump from Lore of Steel. You know what? Maybe we can just rebuild him right now. Well, there's a lot of crit rate we have to make up. I probably don't have their perception gear to make it up right now, so we'll just stay with what we got. All right. So 100% crit rate, 244 on the crit damage. Obviously, defense and attack both advantageous, but I would prioritize defense on this champion to keep him alive. He's a rare, but a rare who's not that squishy. He has 1255 base defense, 15k HP is nothing to write home about, but it's not as bad as some champions out there. So again, that defense makes it easy to keep this champion alive, which is another reason I love him. He's, a little bit more robust than your average rare champion, easier to keep alive. He's controlling the enemies and he's doing damage all at the same time. Now, speed is tricky on this champion. One of the downsides, along with his weird attack scaling damage, is his speed being so low at 89. This is really what prevents this champion from being, to me, an S tier or an A tier rare champion. I would put him personally around a B tier, maybe a 3.5 stars out of 5, maybe a 4-star out of 5, just because he's so good with that control, that turn meter, and the decreased speed. Accuracy is obviously going to be required on this champion to land the decreased speed on the A2 and the turn meter. That's why I said we could stand to get some more accuracy, although I will say that obviously the stun set is not going to require accuracy to land from artifacts. So that doesn't require accuracy, but we still need it because of the stun on the A1 and the decreased speed on the A2 ability. So with all that said, 233 is enough accuracy to get by in most areas to where we're using him right now. But let's see if we can replace this, because I would like it to be closer to 300, given that my account is in the end game. So let me take a quick look here at the banners that we have. So we're sacrificing a little bit of speed, but we get a bunch of accuracy. We lose some HP and defense here, but, that's not good. That's not what we want. And that's probably not what we want. Speed, attack, defense, HP. I think we'll just use the rare banner instead. So I actually like this a lot better. I feel a lot more comfortable with 329 accuracy. We still have the damage out of this champion. And hey, the defense is enough to where if he's doing his job, stunning, CCing, along with the other champions we're going to be running him with, he's not going to be dying, so we're not incredibly concerned with the drop that we had in defense. So you already saw the accuracy on the banner here, guys. We have crit damage on the amulet. If he's dying, don't be afraid to sacrifice some damage or crit damage on this champion and just go with defense on the amulet. We have attack on the ring. The attack is so low. We talk about this here on the channel. This goes for a bunch of different champions, right? The attack is 782. So if we want a little bit of damage out of him, we're better, and we want to scale that attack, rather than going for attack percentage anywhere on this champion, we're better off really just going with one of our accessories, attack, to get that flat stat. We rarely talk about flat stat being a good thing, but when the attack or the base stat that you're trying to improve is this low, percentage gear is going to have a very small impact. So that's when I like to revert to accessories. So that's why we have an attack ring on this champion. We also got nice substats here with defense, 22 extra percent, and then again 14% on the attack, some HP as well. So it's a really nice ring on this champion. We have speed on the boots, pretty much mandatory on this champion because he's so slow to begin with. Defense percentage on the chest, and then we have crit damage again on the gauntlets. Again, nothing wrong with going crit rate if you can't find on the gauntlets. If you can't find the crit damage from other artifacts, excuse me, on the substats. Obviously, we're just looking for, again, we talked about priorities, accuracy, speed, defense percentage, crit rate, crit damage, nice to have as well. So those are the artifacts we have on him. We talked about the Masteries. We talked about the blessings. Let's go ahead and get into I think right now, actually, we have a faction war open, Knights Revenant. And there it is. All right, guys, stage 21 here in Faction Wars is a team that we're going to run. Tried to pick a fairly accessible team. Only one legendary, a previous, was he a fragment summon or was he a fusion? I get them all confused, but it's Walking Tomb Drang. Really cool champion. He's going to be our main damage dealer for the red boss. And then, of course, Executioner is going to be our main damage dealer along with Thylesia against the waves. Not only that, but he'll bring the decreased speed for the red boss, which is really, really helpful. We don't want the red boss going super fast because this red boss has that, was it Mirror Universe, I believe? Is that the name? Or Health Swap? The one that swaps his health, essentially, right when he's about to die. So when we can slow him up, that 12 turn cooldown will really last long enough to kill. So I love having the decreased speed. It does work against the boss, even though most CC buffs do not work, and certainly cooldown skills, putting skills on cooldown, excuse me, or shutting them off or blocking them will not work either. So obviously Execution is going to be great for the damage, right? He's built to be a little bit of a nuker. He actually leads some of my CC teams in damage. And the best thing about this champion, guys, good time to talk about it, is the books, right? You do have to book this champion, or at least I would advise you guys to book this champion, but you can take it slow when you're booking Executioner. We're going to lose somebody. We have Retro Draft to pick her back up. It's no big deal. You want to take it slow. This wave is so annoying. Warcaster, Valkyrie ×2, if I'm seeing this correctly. It's hard to see with the HP burn. But anyway, booking. Look at all those stuns landed. That's how helpful this champion is. Look at all those stuns, man. The cool thing is, guys, is you can just farm. Instead of farming 12-3 when you're farming your food, just farm 11-3 instead and get a bunch of dupes of Executioner. Take it slow and use that instead of your rare books, because rare books are hard to come by in this game. It's crazy, but they really are. So just go ahead, and again, on this champion, you don't need to have them all the way booked at once. But just farm 11-3 until you get him all the way booked using dupes, and then save yourself those resources. Furthermore, you can use him as a control champion without taking him to level 60. You can take him to level 50 and just use him in a stun set to help you get to, I don't know, probably around stage 20-ish, right? I think you should probably eventually get him to 60 to 6 stars, and I think it's worth doing so because of his utility in the end game in Doom Tower Secret Rooms, which you could use a very similar build to the one that we're using right now. You can even, as a matter of fact, as I mentioned earlier, I'd probably, if you want to use him mainly just for control, and you don't care so much about that damage, you have other damage dealers on your team, such as Walking Tomb Drang, then you can just go ahead and switch to that Fearsome Presence Mastery on the tier 6. So we're almost at the red boss finally here. My man is dead right now, but he's going to be picked up in a minute. There he goes. And he's going to be nice and healthy here to get his job done. He did his job on the waves, right? He landed those stuns. We're looking good. Now we're against the red boss. His job now is to stay alive, and this could be a long battle. As I mentioned, Meddle with Fate is the name. Mirror Universe is the A2. Meddle with Fate exchanges remaining HP levels with a target enemy. That's so annoying, and it makes this battle go fairly long, which sucks. On the A2, Mirror Universe steals all buffs from each enemy, then transfers all debuffs from him to a random enemy, then applies debuff spread, taking all debuffs from that enemy and places them on all enemies. That really sucks. Really strong version of this, of the red boss here, and can be very annoying to deal with. What I'm going to do is, I was like, should I? See the decreased speed, guys? Again, it's only the weak version, only 15%, but you'd be shocked. I did not recognize, personally, how valuable a 15% decreased speed would be, especially when I was starting this game. I just 15% decreased speed, who cares? I care. It's massive. It really is. And look at all this. I mean, we might be able to take him down, because I think he's going to want to use Mirror Universe and not Meddle with Fate. So if we can take him down after he uses Meddle, but he's going to get quite a bit here. Let's see what we can do here. He's going to use Mirror Universe. And I don't know, guys. I'm thinking, are we going to be able to get him down here? Let's see. Let's see. Save us some time. Decreased speed has landed. Decreased turn meter obviously also works, as you guys could see against the boss. We have the debuffs on. We got the burn on. Let's do this. End it. End it. Thylesi, end it. Oh, the man of the hour ends it. And we got the speed glyph on top of it. I will take it, ladies and gentlemen. Puts out 400,000 damage. Not too bad at all from a rare champion at that, considering all the control and how instrumental he was to this fight, guys. I'm a big fan of Executioner. I hope you guys are as well. Hope this guide, some of you found it useful. If you want any more champion guides, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I'll try to make your requests happen, albeit, with time. So be patient with me because there's a lot of champions to get to and a lot of champion requests. Have a great day, great evening, wherever you're at, guys. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.